disappeared, Nolia met Omori, a traveling merchant with a charming smile and a kind heart. He was nothing like Kobe, but he brought a sense of calm to her storm. Omori listened to her stories, laughed at her jokes, and assured her that the past was behind her. "You are not cursed," he said one evening, as they sat under the baobab tree where her first wedding had ended in tragedy. "You deserve happiness, Nolia, and I want to give it to you." When Omori proposed, Nolia hesitated. She feared the whispers, the stares, and the possibility of history repeating itself. But Omori's love gave her strength, and she said yes. The village was in disbelief when news of Nolia's second wedding spread. "Another wedding," they scoffed. "She hasn't learned." Still, curiosity drew them to the ceremony. On the day of the wedding, the sun shone bright, and the baobab tree stood tall, its leaves swaying gently in the breeze. Nolia wore a new dress, her mother's handiwork again, and Omori stood beside her, holding her hand with confidence. The ceremony began, the elders chanting blessings. Nolia's heart raced, but she told herself it would be different this time. Then, as Omori opened his mouth to speak his vows, he staggered backward, clutching his throat. His eyes widened in terror as he fell to the ground. A horrified scream tore from Nolia's lips as chaos erupted around him. The healer rushed forward, just as he had for Kobe, but it was no use. Omori was gone. This time, there was no mourning, only fear and anger. The villagers were convinced Nolia had brought death upon her homes. They avoided her entirely, refusing to even look her way. "She is cursed," they declared. "She brings death wherever she goes." No one would speak to her, not even her own family. Nolia became a ghost in her own village, living in silence, her once vibrant spirit crushed under the weight of their judgment. For months, she wandered alone, tending to her small farm and avoiding the stares of her neighbors. The baobab tree, once a place of joy, now stood as a reminder of her pain. One evening, as the sun dipped low over the hills, a stranger arrived in Naboma. His name was Zubri, a tall, handsome man with a confident stride and eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the world. He carried nothing but a small bag and a warm smile. The villagers greeted him cautiously, warning him about the cursed woman. "Stay away from Nolia," they told him. "She brings nothing but death." But Zubri was curious. He had heard whispers of Nolia's beauty and her sorrow. Ignoring their warnings, he sought her out. He found her by the river, her hands stained with clay as she shaped the pot. "Are you Nolia?" he asked, his voice gentle. She looked up, startled. It had been months since anyone had spoken to her. "Yes," she replied cautiously. "I've heard many stories about you," he said, sitting beside her. "But I don't believe in curses." Nolia's eyes filled with tears. "Then you're the only one," she whispered. Zubri stayed in Naboma, and despite the villagers' protest, he spent his days with Nolia. He listened to her pain, laughed with her, and helped her rebuild her life. Slowly, the light returned to her eyes. The villagers watched in disbelief. "He'll die too," they muttered. "It's only a matter of time." But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Zubri remained healthy, his bond with Nolia growing stronger. He didn't fear her past or the rumors that surrounded her. Instead, he saw her for who she truly was, a kind, resilient woman who had suffered unjustly. In time, the whispers faded. The villagers began to question their beliefs. Perhaps Nolia wasn't cursed after all. When Zubri finally asked Nolia to marry him, it was under the same baobab tree that had witnessed her life. This time, the village came together, not out of curiosity or fear, but out of hope. As the vows were exchanged, the drums beat loud and joyful, echoing across the hills. And when Zubri kissed Nolia, the crowd erupted in cheers, their fears and doubts swept away. Nolia's curse was broken, not by magic, but by love and perseverance. And from that day on, she was no longer the girl who lost her grooms, but the woman who found her strength.